Hi, my name's Sarah, and I'd like to share a snapshot of my digital literacy with you today. As someone who is approaching her mid-40s, in 1999 I was in my first year of my first college program, which was called Journalism, Print, and New Media. As a result, I became an early adopter of having the internet at home and also of having a computer at home. Some of the platforms I recall using quite frequently included Napster, where we shared MP3s, ICQ, and MSN Messenger. At that time, I was in my early 20s, and the social aspect was what appealed to me most. I really enjoyed getting to know people better, making new friends, some of which I still have to this very day. It was a few years before Facebook entered the scene, and I remember really distinctly trying to avoid joining that platform, but there just became a time where it was inevitable. That's where everyone was, and it was how everyone communicated. So for a long time, that was the main platform that I used. And then in 2009, I became pregnant for the first time with my daughter. And blogging had become incredibly popular at that time as well. And so there was an emergence of what's now known as mommy bloggers. And I loved reading these blogs. They just made me feel like I had all the information I needed. I was really interested in learning from them what their experiences were like having their babies and then having newborns. And a couple of the ones that I followed were very active on Twitter. And they were just sharing, their day-to-day life with their babies and whatnot there. And so I joined Twitter. And at that time, we were still living in Ontario. And what was really cool about Twitter was that at that time, Edmonton had a very vibrant Twitter community. And so when we knew that we were moving to Alberta, I was able to log into Twitter, learn about the area that we were moving to, and I even struck up some friendships on there that I still have to this very day. Over time, I migrated from Facebook and started using Reddit more and more frequently. I just found the quality of information to be much more factual, much more logical, and I attribute that to the ability for the community on Reddit. They up and down vote posts and comments, and so what happens is the best information typically filters up to the top. Lately, the last couple of years, I've noticed that the quality doesn't seem to be there as much as it was before, but there was a time where it just seemed like the best information was found on Reddit. Now that I'm a parent to a teenager and a preteen, I find that my social media use has evolved once again, and I'm watching, the spaces that my children are in more often. And so a few of those that I'd like to mention today include Roblox, which is typically known as a gaming platform. However, there's a massive social aspect to it. And so I myself have a Roblox account. I joined Roblox. I wanted to see what my children were doing. I play the games with them. I see who they're chatting with, how they're chatting, what the controls are. So as a woman in her nearly mid-40s, I do consider myself somewhat of a user of Roblox from that perspective as well. Additionally, TikTok. My daughter was a very early adopter of TikTok. Prior to it being called TikTok, it was called music.ly, and it was a space where people lip sync to songs and dance to them and would upload their dances. It was very innocent, a whole lot of fun. My daughter loved it. And I remember how disappointed she was when the company rebranded to TikTok and it became what it is today. And so as a way to keep an eye on her, what she was doing, who she was following, who was following her, I joined TikTok, as did my husband. And it's definitely the social media platform that we both use more often than any other. Now, that said, I will say I don't create content on TikTok really ever, but I do really appreciate what other folks are putting out there. And I think there's a ton of opportunity for news outlets and different agencies to really use TikTok to reach people, because I think it's just where people are at today. It's how our brains are working, with it having the video in addition to the spoken text on top. It's just a way to really reach people. And the other one that I wanted to mention is Fortnite. Fortnite's a gaming platform, but there is a massive social aspect to it. People are making friends across the world on Fortnite. they're talking strategy, they're talking socially while they're playing. And so I attribute this one to my son. He really wanted to play Fortnite, and the only way that I would allow him to play was if I played too with him. And so we both got quite into it and have since played our share of Fortnite games, both together and individually. So that brings us to today. And now I'm in this class, this new media narratives class. I'm really excited to be here. Again, at my age, I think it's really cool to learn academically what's going on in the technological and the social media realms, new media in general. And I'm really looking forward to everything that we have to learn this semester in class. Thank you.